Hello everybody again on YouTube. This is going to be another blue-red Murktide League. It's a deck that I'm a little bit familiar with. I played it to a top 4 finish at a semi-local, I think it was a 2K? 5K. It was a 5K. And here's my top 8 picture, a little show and tell real quick. Here's me, and here are two of my buds that were in my group at the time. And here are the deck lists that were at that event. Top 4 decided to split. Top 8 didn't want to split. So we were assigned 1 through 4 based on breakers. But this is the list that I used at that time. And then I guess while we're here, this is what the modern metagame is looking like today. It's February 6th, 2022. I do all this for the YouTube people, so we can kind of get a snapshot of what the world looks like. This is the list that I'm playing today. And let's jump into the league. I guess actually I haven't joined it yet. Modern League, is it Murktide? Join. That was your local shop? Alabama? That particular event was Alabama. It was like as soon as you get out of the panhandle, it was like right there. Couldn't make it that day. Bummer. It was a cool event. That event, I actually lost round 1. I was game 1, match 1. I keep a solid hand. I'm like, ooh, 2 lands, monkey, and some ways to interact. This is going to be solid. But I'm on the draw, and the opponent goes, turn 1 Young Wolf. I said, crap. So I lost to Yawgmoth and beat it again later. Spike is still getting trophies? Holy crap. The record was 72, right? And then he tied it at 72, broke it at 73, and now he's still going? Jeez. How many days are left? 2? 2? Yeah. At this rate, he's probably going to have like 78 by the time it ends. That's going to be a pretty untouchable record. Should probably just stop so he can make it easier for himself to re-break it. Let's go first. Yep, got a keeper, and they revealed Luris. This hand's probably fine. Show game log, show chat. Turn 1 is pretty scripted. And then I think I'm going to... actually, I guess I should have said it wasn't completely scripted. I actually maybe even wanted to... I may have even wanted to just figure out what land I'm playing first, because if there's a card I wanted to keep on top, then I could play the Spire Bluff. And then if I wanted to shuffle it away, I could then play something else. So this is a card I probably wanted to keep anyway, so never punished. I can do the trick now. They could be playing Burn. We don't actually know what's up yet. Brazen Borrower. I don't think that is the threat that I'm looking for. Shuffle. Basic Island. Serum Visions. Monkey. Presumably the second one's gonna die, so I'll probably just keep both and say go. Draw one at my opponent's upkeep. So if I had to guess, either Rakdos or Burn. This hand is fine versus either of those. Missing a Murktide. Draw my monkey. Tarn could still be either of the two. Or more. Okay, I guess more likely Burn. Burn, okay. So we know that we've got another monkey on top. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and kill the guide now to deny the opponent info. We know we're not hitting a land off of the top, so let's just get it out of here. I think I'm going to dash monkey. We don't have any basic mountains in the deck. If I dash monkey and I hit something like a bolt, I'm going to want to use the bolt to kill the Swift Spear as opposed to my own. If I hit something like a Searing Blaze or a Helix, I guess the same is the case. If I get basic island, though, I can't cast something like a Searing Blaze or a Helix. I guess what I could do is just dash it. And then see what I hit and let that inform my decision. Because if it's nothing I want to cast, I might just use the treasure to hit the monkey. And it is Searing Blaze. Alright, well, I guess I'll take 3. Why is Magic Online being slow? They've just conceded. Sure. That works too. Okay. Not the way I expected to win, but I'll take it. Spell Pierce is the only, I guess, like, slam dunk. I could consider Blood Moon to cut all the white spells out. I don't think that's where I want to be, though. Explosives, I guess, as a kill spell is good. If they resolve something like a... what's the stupid thing that, like, pings everyone at their upkeep and, like, prevents life gain? And, like, if you cast something for free, it domes you for 5. We don't care about getting domed for 5. But it is annoying pinging every single turn. What's the thing called? I guess it doesn't really matter. We know what it does. Roiling Vortex, that's the one. Yeah, I don't think I'm bringing in Moon. It stops like Boros Charm and Helix, but that's kind of it. I guess like Deflecting Palm if they're into that kind of thing. Yeah, I think we'll just not bring this in until we see it, if we see it. Like, the card just isn't even that good against us anyway. On the draw, I think I'm going to trim a monkey. Keep everything that interacts with them. And yeah, this Brazen Bower doesn't really do much. Sure. 2 Spell Pierces for 2 less good cards. Yeah, I mean, trimming monkey could be wrong, but honestly, everything else in the deck seems excellent. Maybe I want to cut some number of Expressive Iteration. I don't think I can keep this. This hand is really, really soft to creatures. Yeah. Better. Keep. I guess bottom. Steam Vents. Done. Land and go. Alright. Iteration. Okay, I can Scry Trick here. Although if they play something like... if they just draw a hasty creature, I'm going to want to be able to heat it. Or if they draw something like a... or if they have something like a Eidolon, I'm going to want to be able to heat that as well. So maybe the Scry Trick isn't necessarily free. I think I'm just going to play Spire Bluff Canal and I'll play the Bobble Out. Playing the Bobble Out because of the Eidolon, which I guess I would heat anyway. Because even if I don't heat, I'll cast Consider. Alright, shuffle. And then I'll bobble you. Looking for a threat of my own. Or I guess a counterspell. Okay, now I'll bobble you. Guide, okay. No turn 1 play is good for me, though. Charm, okay. Okay. Sanctifier, okay. Didn't bring in Dress Down. It didn't bring in the explosives either. Do I want to put this into my yard? Yeah. Well, that's not on time. I guess go. I would have to fetch Shock to be able to heat and monkey. So I want to fetch in response to the guide, because then the only way I draw a land is if I have 2 lands on top in a row. Well, I want it to attack first. I could use it as a kind of pseudo scry, but at this point I think most of my spells are good, whereas lands are just really, really bad. So do this, say no, trigger. Okay, we're drawing Charm. Bolt for the prowess. Makes sense. Land go. Probably gonna have to steal the Swift Spear. Yeah, but now that we know about Sanctifier, which honestly is something I maybe could have thought of, Dress Down gets better, and whatchamacallit gets better. Explosives. Take 2. Yeah, so what has to happen now is I need a Murktide. Still need a Murktide. Oof. So if I cast Iteration looking for Murktide, I go to 4. Not great. I guess what I'll do is I'll play the Islet, say go. Counter anything pre-combat which would have me blocking the guide. If they attack with the guide, I'll probably just block it anyway. What is this? A second Sanctifier. Trigger resolves. Guess I have to counter that. I can't block both of those with the Murktide. Take 2. Alright, need a Murktide right now. Nope. Dead. I could have sacrificed Islet, but any burn spell still kills me, so I did lose a little bit of equity if I had exactly Murktide on top. Okay, more than one Sanctifier. Explosives. Dress downs. We need 5 cuts if this is the case. On the play, Monkey could even get back in here. I'm going to cut a couple iterations. I'm just not going to have a whole lot of time to cast those things. Although digging for the ways to deal with Sanctifier may be good. I think I'm going to cut one of my more expensive counter spells. I need 3 more cuts. Bobble might be a liability, but it also might be one of the easier ways I have to turn Channeler on. Oof. Not entirely sure what should be coming out. It might just be more charms. I mean, counter spells are obviously fine, but early they're kind of silly. Stealing a creature is also a thing, but I don't really think I'm gonna have an issue. Don't really think I'm gonna have an issue killing stuff. This has me needing one more cut. Maybe it's just like a cheap cantrip. Could be a single bauble. Cantrips are kind of good too. They do help find the important stuff. Sure. Could be wrong. Could be right. Who knows? Let's go first. Spire Bluff Monkey. This is a hand, all right. I'm not excited about it. Suspend a Rift Bolt. Okay, well that if they're gonna have a 1-drop, I guess that's the best one I could have hoped they had. I am gonna want to put a land in the yard at some point. I don't want to fetch my 3rd island though, because I want to be able to double red spell in a single turn. I guess what I'll do is I'll just play basic island here and attack for 1. Hold up a combination of consider and 1 mana removal. If they go at the channeler here, I guess I'll just consider in response. Just go in face. Makes sense. No Searing Blaze. We could find Spell Pierce. Trigger. I think I would like to find Spell Pierce. Bummer. Not good. There's Murktide. Bought him some lands. If I fetch for a basic... Actually, I guess I get to cast Murktide now anyway. Yeah, let's do it. It will be a 6/6. Sanctifier, yep. I mean, this holds it back. I think I'm just going to attack, though. I want to win. This has them needing to kill me over the course of just 2 more turns. Yeah, the Murktide was good. Guess I'll take 2. And I think I'm just going to bolt them end step, too. If you find another bolt, that's a kill. If you find a monkey and they don't kill it, that's a kill. Uh-huh. I guess Helix and Deflecting Palm can both mess that up. Eidolon, I guess I'll bolt you. Monkey no longer does it. Lightning Bolt still does. I mean, they can't tap that for mana. Hitting them down, yeah, cool. Yeah, so like hitting them down to one, means they don't have any canyons, and they get to attack me for 4, but then they can't cast anything off of Eidolon. So they're just dead. Oh boy, that was close. Yeah, I was not at all excited to keep that hand. Murktide redeemed it though. I would like to go first. With a keep against Luris. All the blue fetches in the deck function exactly the same, so it doesn't really matter which one I lead on. I guess don't be playing Burn. Some kind of mirror. I guess they don't have Murktide. Maybe just rock. Borrower. So what I could do here is just cast double cantrip, or I could take the turn off to Brazen Borrower. Honestly, that's a pretty good tempo play, and then if they spend most of their turn next turn redeploying it, I could maybe Archmage's Charm to steal. Casting cantrip here means that if they just play another threat, though, I could start falling behind. So I actually kind of like just using the Brazen Borrower. I'll get Basic Island, Petty Theft, Boing, Trigger, another one. I think I just like the lands, honestly. That'll contribute to Delirium as well. I could not attack in order to play around Dashed Monkey. In fact, I think I will. Because if you want to dash a monkey, I'll trade. Yeah, I don't want them dashing monkey, potentially drawing a card from my library, and if they don't, they get to just replay the channeler that we know about. Grixis. Okay, so probably Shadow then. This all makes sense. So if we find untapped land here, I'm just going to yoink their channeler immediately. If I don't, it'll be awkward. Land. Nice. Yeah, I'll shock. Gain control. Yoink. Go. So we're missing sorcery out of the yard. So we can grow it next turn if it doesn't just die immediately. Iteration. Or not. Yeah, that works. Alright, I guess I'll just lead on iteration of my own. The ideal situation here is we hit untapped land and Murktide. We did hit untapped land, but I think I'm just taking the 2 creatures, put the monkey into play, put one of them into my hand. Channeler. This to the bottom, play this until end of turn. Cast. Go. So this looks like Channeler plus another heat. Makes the sense. Another iteration. So I could Channeler now and Volt and cast 1-mana cantrip, or I could just cast the iteration. I think I'm leaning towards casting the iteration because that's the 2-for-1, and I would like to resolve it. If I don't hit a land, I'll just cast the Bolt. If I do hit the land, I can still do it all. Yeah, I think I would like to make sure I resolve the 2-for-1. Alright, well, that's not a land I can play. What I could do, though, is just cast the Bauble and put Consider to hand. It may still be better just to hit my land drops, though. I think it is. So what I'll do is I'll put Bauble to hand. Spire Bluff to exile for casting. So 1 to hand. I guess isn't Consider just better at that point? We're already at Delirium. Consider is probably better. Alright, so 1 to hand. This one. This into exile. This one's playable. Play it. Lightning Bolt. Go. I'm worried about Kroxa. Don't speak the evil into existence. Well, not what I meant to do. Four. Yep, this is when their threats start becoming threats. Heat. Well, we can heat it exactly now. They could have drowned backup. I guess we lead here. Get some surveilling in. I think I want to do this first, so dependent on whether or not this resolves, we can use our cantrips accordingly. Yeah, they've got the drown. We don't have Spell Pierce in the deck, so there's no sense to doing this immediately. What digs the most cards to finding another copy of Unholy Heat exactly now? I guess Consider, right? Don't want that. Iteration. I think I have to bin it. Found the Murktide. Might be a little too late, though. Counterspell. Pretty much whatever we draw is what we're discarding to Murktide. There's the heat. Alright. So, bottom that, top this. Want to keep the Murktide. So the Shadow's gonna outgrow the heat, but we can hit the Kroxa with it at least once. Do I have to block? I don't, right? Take 9. Kroxa puts me to 1. I can then Unholy Heat the Kroxa, but then when they recast the Kroxa, I'm forced to discard a spell or die. But that's fine, though, right? So if I draw a spell, that means I have to draw a spell, right? So if I take the hit, go to 9, or sorry, take 9, go to 4, they Murktide, they Kroxa put me to 1. I then draw Unholy Heat. They're gonna Kroxa me, put me to 1. I draw the Unholy Heat. There's not a window for me to draw a card, though. I have to block. Yeah. Here comes Kroxa. Ditch a Scalding Tarn. Go to 10. Draw heat. So then I'll have to pre-combat tag this Croxa. Does it matter when I time this? So if I hit this now, they escape it. Thing is, like, I don't have to actually block this. If they've got a fetch land, then I'm dead, right? So I should do this now. But then I have to chump. Oh, so I'm actually supposed to not cast anything, right? I have to let them attack me. I have to then chump the Croxa, or not chump. I eat it. But then they can escape it. Yeah, it's not going to work out the way I want it to. Because if I hit this, I guess this then no longer has an attack. Zap. Counterspell kills me. I still have to block though. Because I go to 9, they escape Croxa, I die. They put Luris to hand? I guess that makes sense, yeah. Cast Bobble. Yeah, I'm pretty dead. What would have to happen? Anything? Is anything possible? It has to start with an iteration. Yeah, that doesn't do it. Yeah, I would have had to like iteration, hit a monkey, and a removal spell, dash a monkey. They don't block. Yeah. Dispute. Where'd it go? Dispute. Relics. Explosives. Honestly, probably Blood Moon. Spell Pierce. Dress Down seems better for them than it is for me. Alright, so now what do I cut? Borrower seems bad. I'm bringing in better counter spells, so it's possible I can trim some of the more expensive ones. I think I want to cut all of the delayed cantrips. I want my cards immediately. That makes it harder for channelers to turn on. But I mean, we've got all these other artifacts that I'm bringing in. No way I'm cutting iteration. What I think I should be doing is probably just kind of cutting more less efficient counterspells. I don't think I'm going to keep the dispute in. I think regular counterspell is probably going to be better most of the time, like with the exception being in a counter war specifically. Yeah. These counterspells are just absolutely horrid top decks, and they're also pretty bad versus creatures once they've resolved, obviously. Maybe just cut a consider. Do something like that. Let's go first. Yeah, let's keep. Turn 1 channeler, turn 2 channeler plus relic. Not bad. Sand's kind of picture perfect. Alright, steam vents first. There's that. Go. Makes sense. Another relic. Well, managing their graveyard should be easy. Trigger. Another land. It being a fire islet makes it more enticing, but I don't think I need more lands anyway. Target you. Go. Bummer. Doing it now is kind of free. Relic doesn't involve tapping in order to use the exile everything ability, so it should be fine. That's a good one. I guess that's another reason to have Disputed. I don't think I want to pop a relic quite yet. I can manage their graveyard well enough just by tapping it twice a turn. Ragavan entered exile. Yep. So I'm going to have to kill a Ragavan here. So they know about the heat. For that reason, should I just use that? I don't have Delirium, and I don't really have a way to turn it on either, so I think I'll just use the card they know about. Monkey. Could dash. In fact, I think I just should. They're pretty likely to be able to kill it. This is the only way I can really guarantee it connects. We hit a drown off of the top. Alright, well, I'll target you. I'll target you. Drown was already kind of a dead one because we could pop a relic in response to them casting it. So not the best exile. Croak's brutal. I guess I'll ditch a bolt. Keep the monkey. I mean, they're pretty likely to be able to kill the monkey. But I gotta make them do it. Channeler. Yep. Shadow. Yikes. I guess this is a game I could still steal with something like Blood Moon. Charm. So I could take the hit from Shadow and then steal it. after it becomes a big enough threat to exist on my side. So I think I'm just going to take the lick. They can't drown my charm. Take 9. This is Adleris. Gain control. They've got Luris in their hand. They are at 4, so they are in chump blocking territory. Which means that this monkey should also be connecting. This relic is going to mean that Luris doesn't get value. Jump. Connect. Lightning bolt, target monkey. I can spell pierce it. Which I do want to do. Crap. I needed them to let this trigger resolve first. Now they know I've got something. I guess I could have the relic. So, trigger resolves. Make a treasure. Ooh, we can cast a bauble. Target you. They've got Darcy on top. Iteration. Cool. Okay, I think we got this one. So they're going to have Luris and Darcy. Yeah. Relic doesn't have to tap. There's that. There's that. So dashing with monkey. Dashing with monkey means that they have to chump again. Because either threat would just kill them. I guess, yeah, they would have to chump, right? We attack. If they put this here, they gain 3, but then still lose their Luris, which is important. If they put this here, they still just take 2. So yeah, dashing monkey means they have to block. It works out even better for me, though, if I just draw a removal spell. So I guess it's free to do this first. That's not the removal spell that I'm looking for. Serum Visions, no. Alright, so just make sure. Yeah, this should be fine. This should be just dash monkey. They're forced to block with Luris. Alright, so now it's my shadow versus your nothing and my grip. I mean, they could still, like, draw a shadow of their own, and that could be potentially dangerous. Redraw. They hit it. Okay. Oh my god. So this is fine though, right? I get to attack them. They have to block. I lightning bolt myself. Puts me to 4. My 9/9 eats their 8/8. Yeah, this is still fine. Yeah, they have to block or they die. So this is just correct. Mm-hmm. Bolt me. I eat you. Serum Visions. Draw land. Charm on top. Well, that goes there. That goes there. Play this. Go. Dash the monkey. We've got a charm on top, which they can cast. But if they cast it, we spell pierce it and we win. Right? Like, we know they're hitting charm. If they cast a charm, they die. So we just let this happen. Yeah. They need 3 blue. That's also true. Didn't even think about it. Yeah, so they should have tapped, I guess, a Blood Crypt, which I guess they'll realize in a sec. Yeah, so we had the Pierce for it, but they don't know that we have the Pierce. Yeah, they said mistapped. Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't actually a mistap. We would have, well, it was, but we would have been able to handle it anyway. So still Grixis. Any changes? On the draw, I could conceivably take out a couple 1-drops. Because, like, the progression of they play 1-drop, I play 1-drop, they kill mine and attack is really bad for me. I could bring in the Dispute. Which is better, Monkey or Channeler? Probably Monkey. Feels crazy to even take this out at all, though. I mean, this hitting Drown and Iteration feels like it's got to be good enough. I want the Iterations. I could just take out the other counter spells. No. I think I'm doing this. Yeah. Acceptable. So if they've got the monkey, I'll heat it immediately because I don't want to get drowned. Target me. Yeah. Trigger. I could start playing toward a Blood Moon. I do want 2 islands for when I Blood Moon. But I may also end up being pretty red heavy. Let's just do it this way. Pop it. Go. Another monkey. And no land. There's the moon. I think what I'm going to do is Island Serum Visions. We did not find a way to kill monkey off of it. We found Bolt. So what I'll do is I will bottom monkey, top Bolt. I guess hold up Spell Pierce. Oh, I'm an idiot. They're going to hit me. I should have put Bolt second from the top. That was a mistake. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. Crap. Yeah. That was bad. Yeah, I needed Bolt second from the top. So we do have the potential to moon them, but it gets worse while they've got a monkey in play. I guess that makes it matter less. I could pierce this. Force them to use the treasure. Yeah, sure. This also is going to let me Murktide next turn if I want. They just let it get countered. Okay. I guess they're going to do it again. There goes Moon. Probably. I guess they could take Murktide with the idea that Monkey's going to give them all the colored mana they need. Weird spot. Would have been less weird had I stacked my top of the library better. Wow, I just saw your message, KO Diamonds. Hopefully you're still here so you can keep teasing me. Bolt me, yeah. Monkey. So yeah, I can make a 7/7 Murktide here. And I can also monkey. Probably should just do that. Island. Murktide. Let's get all the spells out of here. Bolt, Pierce, Visions, Heat, and the land. Monkey. Go. So they know our hand. Iteration. While I'm ahead on board, I'm less worried about iteration. I guess a Death Shadow is a situation where I potentially fall into danger. Although, if they cast a Shadow here, I can probably just cast an Explosives for 1, pop it immediately. Push, okay. So I'm worried about the card Terminate now. I'm not worried about the card Terminate now. Connect. And I'll let the Ragavan hit me. If it doesn't deal with Murktide, I don't particularly care. Hit a land off the top. That's good. I guess like double Terminate would do it now. If this is an iteration, I have to let it resolve. Because if they have Terminate just in their hand, I die to it. Whereas this way, they can only cast Terminate once, and I'll just counter it when they cast it. So mistakes were made, but I think we're pulling it out. Kroxa makes things interesting. I guess if they tap out for Kroxa, that's also fine. So yeah, the plan is unchanged. Targeting yourself. If you cast Kroxa here, that means you die. Uh-huh. I will not untap my lands. Okay, cool. I guess like there was still technically one way we lose, which is if we don't hit a land here, they have the Terminate, I counterspell, then they dispute. Then I could lose. So yeah. Yeah, that one was rough for sure. I 100% made more than one mistake. Doesn't look like Jund. You're right. It's got red in it. That's kind of like Jund. Keep. We don't have any reaction. We don't have any interaction that plays to the board. Oh, well, maybe it doesn't matter. Yeah, doesn't matter. All right, turn 1 monkey. Hope it's good. Counterspell's a fine pickup. Go. Surprise. All right, so this is probably Sylvan Scrying. Did they mulligan at all? They went to 6. All right, so they have drawn. Surprise, surprise. Time to hold up counter spells for the whole game. Buble. I can Scry Trick. We've got another Bobble. Probably should just ship that one. Say yes. And attack. Maybe we hit a star or something. Nope. Another power plant. So I can Serum Visions here and still have Counterspell available. I think it's going to be important that I continue digging for relevant interaction. Bottom. Top. Cast to Bobble again. I guess now I'll Bobble you. Another tower. So they have all of the mana they could ever ask for. Trigger, trigger. Why search for a tower when you're just going to draw it anyway? Another clock is good. So I need to avoid things that have cast triggers. And I guess them double spelling, which is going to be made easier by tower, or second tower. Stirrings, yeah. No payoff. Can't double spell payoffs if you don't have 2 payoffs. Conduit of Ruin. Whenever you cast this spell, search for colorless creature with 7 or greater, and then reveal it. The first costs 2 less. So that gets Ulamog. So this has to be countered. And so they'll have 10 mana. I guess I have to hope they don't have something good on 10 on 4 mana afterwards. Jam. Reveal. Ulamog. Alright, well, that was a good one. Island. I can Murktide here, which makes a 5/5. I still get to hold up the card Counterspell. I get to attack for 7 and then 7, which is 14, which is short. Or I could play Channeler and cast Serum Visions and still hold up Counterspell. I guess playing Murktide is still a little bit better in the event that I find a Lightning Bolt or a Monkey. Actually, no, Monkey doesn't work. I was going to say I could dash Monkey, but I've already got a Monkey. If I had one more spell in my yard, this would be a lot easier. But I cannot both cast Serum Visions and a Murktide and hold up Counterspell. So is it better to cast a 5/5 Murktide or a Channeler? I guess Murktide is better against the card Blast Zone. So I should probably go Murktide. There's the tower that we knew about. You'll get to search. Search for a second copy of Ulamog. Brutal. Yeah, I guess I have to counter, huh? What happens if I don't? I still get to connect with this, but then monkey doesn't hit. Yeah, I have to counter. And then next turn I'll have to Archmage's Charm. Jam. Kozilek? Another thing with cast triggers. So I guess I'm gonna Channeler here. And then when they cast Ulamog, I'll counter it. They'll get rid of Murktide Monkey, I suppose. They don't get rid of Monkey? I'll do this in response for the Surveil. That doesn't do anything. I mean, we've countered actual everything. But they're grinding. Attack. Hit Dismember too? Brutal. If they somehow have no more payoffs, we could be okay. I guess I'll consider first. Put it into the graveyard, yes. I guess there's no reason in waiting. I guess looking at their library could inform decisions. God, they just got Wormcoil on top too. We hit Islet, Charm. Oh, this is all too late. Now I need to find Petty Theft. Does this do it? And it doesn't do it. Yeah, I guess I bought them. I'll play Islet. If I don't just draw Petty Theft, I'll sack Islet. My last card's Wormcoil. How's work been going? It's been going alright. This is so annoying. Oh my god. Alright, so I'm digging for Petty Theft. I can then Shockin, Steam Vents, Dash Monkey, hit them to 3, try to find a bolt. Come on, deck. I mean... Nope. One of them to hand. This one. One to the bottom. One's castable. Pay 2. Channeler. Consider. Heat. Heat lets us kill the Wormcoil, which will fog one instance of attacking. I don't think that has me winning though. It'll still just break into other stuff. Oh my god. I mean, it does fog a turn. Oh my god. I want a bottom. Well, we found the heat anyway. This game. Take 6. We found the bolt too. That's so silly. Alright, well, dash. Jam. We hit Ugin. Okay. I mean, as we sit right now, we could win. Like if we heat this, attack for 3 in the air, that's a W. We need to avoid a payoff. Can we avoid a payoff? Forest, that's not a payoff. Oh my god. There's no way this bricks. Golos? That's a brick, right? What can they get? Whatever they get, it comes tapped. Uh-huh. Do they have like a gain 2 life land? Bog. Oh, Bog does it. I still have to Unholy Heat now is the issue. If I don't Unholy Heat now, it doesn't die. Yeah, I have to heat in response. Yeah, Bog was a smart one. Bin. Zap. Bog will resolve. I have a 1/1 now. Could I just draw another bolt? Make it easy. Do I have to bolt face now? I could bolt the lifelinker, which conceivably gives me another turn. I mean, if I can get Delirium now, it works too. I think I'm going upstairs right now. Trigger. Oh boy. I guess I top it. So we'll have sorcery. We're gonna surveil. I can even play two of a legendary creature to put creature in the yard. This is a big surveil. Creature? That'll do it. Oh, that won't do it yet. So this goes to the graveyard. Iteration resolves. Bobble. Bobble does it, right? Put one of them into my hand. This one into exile. Cast one until end of turn. Cast Bobble. Sure. Sack Bobble, target you. Delirium. Wow. That was a game. That was a game. We cast... Look how many cards we cast. We cast like 5 counter spells. If I do a single thing differently, we die. Okay. Blood Moon. Spell Pierce. Dress Down has some utility versus things like Worm Coil. Oh my god. I mean, the sideboard isn't super stellar, right? So, like, Spell Pierce will be good versus things like Sylvan Scrying, Ancient Stirrings early, but late game, they're gonna be a lot worse. These are probably still better than things like Unholy Heat, though. Like, Heat can go after the walkers, but if they've got a walker going up, Heat doesn't even kill it anyway. Dismember and Bog main deck, definitely interesting. Dismember was standard for a long time until Gigantha was introduced. Obviously, the double black restricts Gigantha. So that might be the only card that they have in the deck that prevents them from Gigantha. So when they don't reveal it, we can kind of assume that Dismember is there in some number. Wanted to play with a Golos Bog tech. Yeah, I mean, it worked out pretty well. Bog main deck is weird. But, I mean, they have plenty of ways to find it, right? There's, like, Sylvan Scrying, Expedition Map, even Golos, apparently. Bolts are also obviously not great, but they go face. I think I'm just taking out the Heats. Do that. Yeah, I guess. That might have been the best single game that I've had against Tron ever. Like, it was so close for like 6 turns in a row. We have turn 1 Channeler plus Bobble and counter spells. If we find the land and can counter literally everything, we can maybe play that kind of Delver strategy. I think I meant to keep, but it's obviously a risk. They've gone to 5. Ballista you can play with Gigantha. It only tracks colored mana symbols, and then you can play Golos with Gigantha anyway. So I think the only card you get that's normal is Dismember. Monkey. It's probably good. I'm going to want to be holding up counter spells early as next turn, though, so I may not have the time to deploy it. But I do need a backup threat. I've already got the counters. Maybe I should just be binning it, trying to find something like Blood Moon. This also helps the Delirium. So let's just bin it. Bobble you now. Why not? Star on top. Go. Just another counter. There's the stirrings. No Tron land. No Tron land. So we know their hand contains another sphere. As far as we're aware, they do not have access to Tron. Murktide. Alright. I guess I'll attack for 1. If they just cast a sphere, I might counter. I mean, I'll counter whatever green spell they cast here. A map. Yeah, I'll counter that. So they're telling me they do not have Veil of Summer, because they would have cast map off of here holding up a green. This will give us Delirium. We knew about that one. Map anyway. I can steal it. If they spike the Tron land and have a payoff, it would suck. If they search for the Tron land and play the Tron land, can I win with just the 3 counter spells I have in hand? It's close. So if I take the map, they spike Tron land, they go to 9 mana. If one of the 2 cards in their hand has a really good payoff, I pretty much die on the spot. If I let them have the map, they complete the Tron, then I'm forced to chain counter spells, and then I need my Delver to be good for the whole game. It's close. I think I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna hope they don't spike the Tron. If they find a even if they have any land, ooh, keep that. If they have any land, they could play Karn the Great Creator. I only have a single island right now, which makes the rest of my hand really, really awkward. I think I'm still going to keep it, because I can still just continue to hold up counter spells and then play the moon when it's convenient. Alright, please don't spike Tron. Oh, I also have a map. I could search for another island. Yeah. So I'm just going to play the moon, right? This means that I'm no longer able to play Archmage's Charm, but next turn I can just search for... I can just find an island with the map and hold up Counterspell. Trigger. Graveyard. Moon. I forgot that Archmage's Charm isn't just terminate something that costs 1. There's the Karn. Oh, now we don't have map. Oh yeah. Well, I guess I can attack the Karn. I can attack the Karn and get map back. Unless they crypt me. Oh my god. Oi. Oi, oi, oi. Guess I'll attack Karn. Well, this took a turn. If they want to minus the Karn again, they'll lose it, which means I can sack map. They found their forest. Okay. Oblivion Stone. Cast Oblivion Stone. Yeah. So they're going to get Moon back. I mean, this also unlocks all of my counter spells again. I'll still get Basic Island. So this is also a weird game. Monkey. Monkey was honestly a fine draw, though. It's something that connects with him now that doesn't get blown by the stone. Trigger. Hit a Sylvan Scrying. They still don't have Tron themselves. Bring Monkey back. Okay, so they're going to probably want to use their entire turn popping the stone. Trigger. I've got threats. I need ways to interact with what they're doing. Resolve this. Put it into the graveyard. Yes. Okay. I'll get this in while it's painless. I can still hold up Counterspell if they don't pop the moon because I have treasure. That's probably good enough. Draw it. Just more counterspells. Attack for 3. I could have used the treasure to pay for that under the assumption that this is getting popped anyway. Should have done that. Yeah, Archmage's Charm and Blood Moon is a bad match. That's true. Pop goes the stone. I could sack the treasure, float a blue, flash in Brazen Borrower, just hold up a single counter spell. I don't think that's what I'm doing though. Tower, tower, mine, mine. No Tron yet. If I cast Murktide, it'll be a 5/5. That's a 2-turn clock. Yep. Getting the 2 spells for sure. Enchantment's going to be the hardest thing to re-add to the yard, so I'll keep the enchantment. Make a 5/5. Yeah, no Tron indeed. Alright, go. Another Karn. Please no Veil. Okay. I guess they can dismember my Murktide. Go. I could have dashed Monkey, but I think just holding up as many counters as I can is probably smart. I can hold up Counterspell and Charm this way. They found the Tron. Oh, God. Ulamog would be really bad for me. Trinisphere? So Trinisphere means that I cannot Counterspell and Charm. They have 7, 8, 9, 10 mana still left over. Ugin. Counter. So they could -7 the Ugin to deal with the Murktide. Nice. Alright, I have to use the bathroom real quick. I'll be back in about 2 minutes. This is where we were last time, and then I punted match 4. Let's see if I can do it again. Hokey day. So this is where I messed up last time. I like had game 3, match 4, 1, and then just like forgot to cast the counterspell that was in my hand. So let's not do that again. Yes, it is very sweet seeing Tron go down. Let's go first. Keep. They did not reveal a companion either. Any reason to bobble now? I guess it's free. Don't really want to wait for a channeler. In the event they're a Thoughtseize deck, I'll wait until their upkeep. Okay. Living End. So, game one, this should be a good matchup since we play lots of counters. That said, I don't have any right now. So that's what we'll be looking for. Jam. We hit a Living End. We don't actually need a counterspell immediately, so I think I'm probably just casting 2 cantrips anyway, right? So I'll probably consider first, and then the Serum Visions. Land, put it into the graveyard. Yes. Murktide is good, but we need to find a counterspell. Serum Visions. Charm counts. Bottom, top. Go. They could always have Force of Negation, which is a problem. I guess if they have the Force, though, that only works for them if their payoff is Violent Outburst, because they can only cast it for free on their turn. They're doing it at sorcery speed if it's Shardless Agent as the payoff. So if Monkey connects, I can, I guess, hold up Counterspell and to consider, which would be nice. Go to attack. Jam. No Petty Theft. Nice. We hit it Grief. That's good. Grief is another way that Archmage's Charm can go poorly. I could consider here to attempt to hit a land drop. Is there any sense to that? I think there is. We can still cast an Archmage's Charm. We'd have to use an extra treasure doing so. Alright, put it onto the bottom. No. Land. Go. Sifter, yep. Never didn't have it. So yeah, they still have a route to combo through us, right? They can still cast something like a Grief. We only have one counter spell. Bolt to help feed Regent, that's true. Bolt's probably not going many other places either. Alright, Sunken Ruins. So no red. If they've got a payoff, it's not Violent Outburst yet. Or they just didn't have the source. So if they shardless first and don't have a Grief, we should be okay for a little while. Okay, well, they cannot instant speed Violent Outburst. As far as I'm aware, there isn't another instant speed way to do it. Let's just throw a bolt upstairs. Untap. Land, not bad. Just play it. Start on an attack. Would like to still find more counterspells, which maybe means I should have been iterationing here. Which playing the land first then is not great. Let's hit another Living End. We hit a Sanctum. So casting Murktide here does have them dead next turn, right? Because it'll be a 7/7. We've got Monkey as well. That's 9. That's lethal. They could have something like a Petty Theft to try to mess this up, which isn't unreasonable. But yeah, grief into a combo piece is going to make this difficult. Now it's a question of, do you have it? I could have even cast Iteration anyway. So if I don't hit a second counterspell, it kind of doesn't matter. Well, I guess I can't second counterspell and first counterspell anyway. So yeah, this is fine. I could Iteration digging for a second counterspell, but then I'm not posing lethal. They probably should have made double blue to do that, because now they can't cycle again. Maybe they don't need to cycle again because they have it already, which would be scary. It's the do you have it turn. That's the red source, which means their forces may become live. Here's a shardless. If they're playing Mystical Dispute in the main deck, then we could get got. Can't force, it's your turn. And they paid 2 life to cycle Street Wraith, so now Murktide just kills them. Conceded. Nice. Whew. That was scary. Alright. So, obviously, Relic of Progenitus. Spell Pierce. Is there a world where I want Blood Moon? It would definitely make things a lot harder for them to cast. I for sure want these 6. Let's see how many cards I want to take out. Borrower can come out. Leaving in all the counter spells for sure. I definitely want the 1-mana creatures. Iteration to find counter spells. I mean, the whole deck seems pretty streamlined. I guess we're cutting heats pretty easily. And then I guess next best thing to cut is Lightning Bolt. Pilot's decent. Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. The deck's definitely good. Is Blood Moon to risk loss of blue? That's a fair point. We would obviously want to, in that case, aggressively fetch for blue, but not being able to cast multiple counterspells a turn could be the thing that bites us with Blood Moon in play. We're also on the draw, which makes it even worse. They're also a quad Force of Negation deck, so if we tap out for a moon and they just like force it, that's a pretty big tempo disadvantage play that could just result in us dying on the spot. Kind of like just this. Explosives isn't good. No, it's not. Yeah, they don't have anything that costs 1 or 2. Or 0. And before they sideboard into rhinos. Submit. Turn 1 monkey, 2 counterspells. That's a keep. Gonna be hard to cast both of these in the same turn, but where it's relevant is if they have a grief, they can only take 1. Should I fetch Basic Island? I mean, Blood Moon's not in the deck. Okay, well that, I guess, simplifies the decision. Alright, don't have a way to kill my monkey. I guess Cascade decks, they have access to, I guess, like some combination of not rough tumble. What's the stupid thing that like it shocks something, but then the other mode's like kind of a pyroclasm, like some mix of that and Bone Crusher Giant. So we would. Oh, okay, that was good. I was gonna say we really, really want Monkey to connect here because then we can hold up Charm. But Pierce we can hold up for sure. Dead Gone. Thank you for the spot. Okay, we hit Street Wraith, which we will not be casting. Spell Pierce is also good because if they don't try to go off here, we will be able to cast 2 counter spells in a single turn. Waker, binning Waker, putting something else in the hand. Never have to be afraid of Veil of Summer versus this opponent, since it costs 1. Veil of Summer is literally too good to be in the deck. Cycle, resolves. Forest. That makes Violent Outburst a possibility. But even if they've got the Outburst, they would need 2 non-force blue cards and 2 forces. I'm gonna play Islet. My life total just doesn't matter. I don't want to fall into a trap where I need to have 4 mana at the same time. If I like fetch and I need 4 mana to interact twice, and they can kind of corner me. Another Street Wraith. We can cast that one, but we won't. Now that we have the treasure, not playing the fetch land looks a little bit less smart. But again, my life total doesn't really matter. Untap. Relic. That's a good one too. Guess let's just lead on attack. Kind of have to counter that one. Trigger. We can cast it. Alright, let's cast this. If they've got a force, kind of got to use it. They're just going off in response. I can pierce this one. I think I should. Because if they go land, go again, things get worse. The issue is, if I go with Archmage's Charm, I still have a good chance at casting 2 counterspells in 1 turn. I guess next turn I'll be able to cast 2 counterspells in 1 turn anyway. Also casting Charm is worse versus Dispute. Oh, wait. I have to let them cascade first. Pierce. Blue. They didn't reveal any toolboxy cards, like no Mystical Disputes, no Brazen Borrowers. Got the force. So if they've got another force and another blue card or a Mystical Dispute, this ends up poorly. But I mean, they have to have all of it. I could even sacrifice Fiery Islet, which would have me losing all of the treasures. What is this countering? It's countering Spell Pierce. Yeah, I need to hope for no Dispute, and I need to hope for no Force plus blue card. And then if they've got it, we kind of just die. I guess this can get basic Island. Snow Island. Spell Pierce isn't something to play around because, again, they're playing Living End. If I pop Islet, what do I find? I guess I could find another Pierce, but that doesn't enable me to double counter anyway. So this is going at Spell Pierce. I should counter, I guess, just the Force. Got a Dispute. Didn't even pay attention to what they pitched. Serpent. Yeah, I mean, if they've got it all, they've got it all. And it's going to be what it is. Yeah, it looks like they have it. Wow. Thanks for the raid. Welcome, everybody. So, by initializing with the relic, that gave them a window. Yeah, we're dead. Wow. Yeah, I mean, they kind of did have it all there. But had I not started with relic, I could have maybe fought another day. Yeah, that was nuts. Can't read that. Raid, yeah. Couldn't read it for a sec. My inability to see red very well made it difficult. Welcome, everybody. I mean, we had a very good hand. They just were able to fight through it. Unfortunately, we had the expensive counterspells and none of the actual card counterspell. Just resubmit. Let's go first. Monkey and a relic. This I think we have to ship. Better. Way better. Keep. I think I'm just going to bottom a bobble. Done. And I guess I'll just even start on a relic. It would be one less trigger. No, I should probably not get cute. Let's just say yes. Play my channeler. Go. And then next turn I'll attempt to resolve 2 relics. If they've got a Force of Negation, hopefully they don't have a second one. This is a good start. Okay. I want to sacrifice this now because I don't want my surveils to get messed up. Island. Relic. I mean, probably just more creatures and more counterspells now. Anything else can get shipped, including that. Does it resolve? Forest Pitching Riverwinder. Yep. Another one? Counterspell. Top. It's in. You. Alright, so we're in a good spot so far. We've got the card counterspell on top. We're going to get in for 1. What we need after drawing this counterspell is a greater means of pressure. Cycle resolves. Our clock, as it is now, is pretty anemic. And nothing. Okay. More counter spells. That's fine. So I'm going to tap Relic now, but they can just sacrifice Misty in response. That's going to happen no matter what. So I expect them to pop Misty here. So they'll exile the Misty instead. Cascade. So this would effectively kill my Channeler and bring back their Architect. They revealed 29 cards. So these cards are not in their hand. I think I'm supposed to just cast a counterspell here. Keep the Relic in play, which is my uncounterable 1-mana way to interact. Iteration. That would be a pretty good one to draw. If I brick on the land, I'll still have Relic available. Sure. So these are the cards that are not in their hand. Four. Yeah. That is actually a problem. I have what on top again? I have a forgot what I put on top. Expressive iteration. So popping this can kind of open the floodgates, although we've got lots of counter spells. Let's pop it. There's the iteration that we knew about. Another Channeler. So if I go Channeler iteration, the thing is, at some point, this is going to just be able to force block my stuff. Do I have any ways to get this out of the way? I don't, right? Did they exile any? Well, they wouldn't have exiled any because they would have cast the ones that they exiled. Yeah, let's do this. Trigger. Land can go away. That can also go away. So we're going to have land instant sorcery. I guess bolt in combination with the block would do it. So put one of them into my hand. Bolt. One onto the bottom. Islet. Play the islet. Go. Thinking exile to grief. They did not exile anything to grief. They haven't cast to grief yet. So these are the cards that are random on the bottom of their library currently. So it's a weird one. Alright, so that'll shuffle them all back. Consider. I think I'm going to cast that now. Casting it now means we get to attack for 3. They'll block. I can bolt. Could go wrong somehow. Don't doubt it. Dispute. Don't think I can manage a dispute anymore. Graveyard. Another channeler? Jeez. The things that they bring back, do they fly? I'm thinking, like, if I bin this and they get another living end to go off, I'll at least have a channeler. But then when they inevitably trade, having second channeler just in play is also going to be good. Although if they do the trading, if they do the trading and then they ever living end again, I'll get 2 channelers back. Also, binning this now gives the delirium. Yeah. Graveyard, yes. Monkey. Attack. So if they presumably block and then I bolt their thing, if they counter, I have to try to counter back. I could have bolted first to get 2 surveils, but then if they've got something like a petty theft, it completely throws me off. Hard cast to dispute. This is exactly the spot where I messed up last time too when I was 3-0. So I need to counter this. Trigger. Another bolt. It's probably good. Counters your dispute. I still want this. That dies. I have bolt on top. Go. Okay, so all of this stuff is getting shuffled back. Close game. So yeah, now if they do something to the effect of a living end, I'll get 2 channelers. They'll be able to block 1. Okay. Go to attack, please. Could have dashed monkey, but then I can't hold up charm. Connect. As it stands, I get to kill them next turn with the lightning bolt. They did nothing? That's got to be a good sign. Cycle Sifter. Obviously can't do anything about that. How many Force of Negations have been used this game? There's one there, and that's it. Trying to think about the timing on this lightning bolt. Been an architect. We have 2 channelers in the yard, so if they living end, they go to 3. I guess if they do it in combat, then they're fine. But then I've got Charm. They would need to have, on top of the way to Cascade, another blue card and another Force that isn't the Force. That's along the lines of having it all, so let's just hope they don't. This living end deck is just surprisingly resilient. Like, every time I think I've got it locked, like with like multiple hate pieces, multiple counter spells, they're in it. It's pretty scary. Okay, so they evoke, exiling Street Wraith. So here's a thinker. So now, if they've got Violent Outburst as their last card, and they do it in combat, if they got Violent Outburst as their last card, and they do it in combat when I'm attempting to attack them, they take nothing. They put in Grief, Architects, Waker, which gives attackers -1/-0. That's not a game that I'm winning. So I have to hope that their last card is Shardless. If I go for a counter here, what happens? Because this is just taking Archmage's Charm 100% of the time. So this has to happen. Lightning Bolt you. Well, I shouldn't even cast the bolt though, right? Because, yeah. So, like, if they take the charm, which they have to, we'll still have the bolt anyway. If they take the bolt, then our charm kills them. So I think we just let it resolve. If they have a Shardless Agent, we get to put 2 flyers into play. But then they'll only do 2 damage apiece because of Waker. I guess we can dash Monkey, but that doesn't fly. Yeah, they have to take Charm. And then they living end. It is a Shardless. So this is going to Cascade. It's going to put in all of this stuff. Creatures your opponent's control get -1/-0. Hang on. Wait. I was going to say, what if I Lightning Bolt my Channeler? That would give me 3 Channelers back, but then they still have this Curator to block. So, I mean, this'll happen. So what I have to do here is I sacrifice Fire Islet, see if I can find either Spell Pierce or the card Counterspell. If I don't, I need to find Spell Pierce, Counterspell, or Lightning Bolt. Any of those does it. And if I don't, I need to Lightning Bolt them and then hope it's the next card. Island. That does not do it. Okay, so then this resolves because 2 Channelers will be in play. I'll get 2 instances of Surveil. But this Architects is going to mess it up. It's top 3. So, I mean, they needed to stack this the other way. That was a punt. They needed to stack this the other way. So now if there's a bolt in the top 3, I still win. Yeah, I'm going to bolt before grief, but they needed to stack this the other way. So that way I could bolt them, do my triggers, and then... So if there's a bolt in the top 3, we win. Or if we cantrip into it, we win. That's not a bolt. That's not a bolt. Here's my hand. Take a monkey. Okay. We need a bolt or a cantrip into bolt. Hiya. Damn it, that's the counterspell. Am I dead? 7, 10, 14. I'm dead. These must attack. So close. Yep, these must attack. I'm dead. So close. That's what I'm saying. Like, Living End is just surprisingly resilient, like, every time. Like, I'll have multiple counterspells. I'll have multiple relics, even. And I don't think I misstepped at any major junctions, and I still did not get there. Maybe they don't block. I doubt it. But yeah, they did punt, though, by stacking the triggers, or in the order that they did. I should have no business winning if they stack it in the other direction. But the way that they did it, if I had a bolt in my top 3, they were a goner. All right. One more for the 3-2 dream. Let's go first. Salty Steve. Yeah, I should keep. They revealed Yorion. No one drops Unfortunate, but the rest of the hand's great. Versus Yorion. I think I'm just going to go ahead and get Steam Vents. I will shock and cast to consider Triome. So, most likely 4-color Omnath pile. I'll bin it. I need threats. That's not a threat. That's a threat. So, if I dash it now, it'll be easier to protect it next turn. Yeah, let's just dash it. Obviously, having it on turn 1 would have been a lot better, but this is better than nothing. I jinxed myself by not having a 4-1 emoji. Fair enough. Trigger. Fury. Alright. Well, I'm not casting that one. So, I will not have Counterspell for the opponent's Renin 6 turn. But I do have Heat. Have I seen the new Goblin card? I don't know which one you're referring to. I've seen a few spoilers. I may have seen it. Here comes Breeding Pool, Renin 6. Basic Plains, maybe not. It's a Stoneforge deck. Was this Cauldra time? Fire Nias. Alright. Stupid windows, get out of my way. Here we go. Okay. Murktide's a good one. I think what I'm going to do is just get a basic island here. Island. Heat. Dash. I could Murktide, which is honestly probably better. Just make a 6/6. That doesn't have me holding up Counterspell, though. Kind of want to hold up Counterspell. I could just cast Monkey, but then I get opened up to Prismatic Ending. I don't want to counter a Prismatic Ending when there's a Fire and Ice on the table. Trigger. Rogrin Triome. Dash comes back. Yeah, so next turn I'm probably Murktide plus hold up Counterspell. I don't think they have Solitude. They probably would have done it by now. Nice one. Nothing, huh? Another Murktide. So they didn't just cast a sword. So they've got to have something. I could just lead on iteration. I think Murktide's got to be good, though. Just do all of it. Try to make a 6/6. Counterspell. I guess I just counter back. Hope they don't have Baby Teferi as a follow-up. If they do have Baby Teferi as a follow-up, casting Monkey may be smart. Still gets opened up to Prismatic, but now if they're Prismaticing, they still have to deal with the Murktide. Maybe not the best way to do it, but this does seem fine. They're a Stoneforge deck, so I don't have particular worry about Supreme Verdict. Yep, Prismatic. Kinda figured. I mean, I could have just continued to play around it for the whole game. Alright, Fire and Ice. Yep. We get to connect. Counterspell? Bobble. I could get some info. There is a Consider on top. So at a minimum, I'll be able to cast a Consider here. I don't know what they could have that they could put a sword on this turn, but I think I should probably want to just hold up the heat. It costs 2 to equip, right? So it would have to be a 3-drop or less, and then attempt to equip. So if it's something like another Stoneforge, I think I want to be able to heat it. And plus, knowing that we've got to Consider on top means that we're going to be able to use at least some amount of our mana no matter what. Hollowed Fountain tapped. Okay. Consider. Lightning Bolt. So that does threaten lethal this turn. Should probably just keep it. It also, if I... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I was going to say it's going to make it harder for them to put a sword on something. Yeah, that is not what I meant to do. Oops. So, I can Fiery Islet, cast second Murktide, exile 3 spells, make first Murktide a 9/9. That puts down counter magic. I guess, like, Solitude is the only worry now, right? I guess I could even Iteration first. But then I don't have Heat up. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go second Murktide. Exile 3 spells. Make first Murktide a 9/9. Because for some reason this thing has more text. Make a 6/6. Jam. Not really sure what I should be worried about here. I mean, Solitude still exists, but they maybe would have shocked if they had Solitude. Yeah, an unfortunate case of the misclicks. Cool. All right. So I guess it's just Jeskai. Jeskai pile. Dispute. Probably Pierce. I don't know that Blood Moon would be good. Maybe I'll bring it in when I'm on the play. Salty Steve gonna Salt Rope. That would be on brand. I could bring in Dress Down. We know that they have Fury in their deck. Although giving him a 3/3 Devil Strike is also bad. But more specifically, we could flash it in response to something like a Dress Down, or in response to something like a Stoneforge. It doesn't seem great, especially on the draw when they get to Stoneforge anyway. I think it's just these three. I could maybe bring in explosives as answers to things like Stoneforge or even swords. They could also maybe bringing in something like Sanctifier. Taking out. Brazen Borrower can maybe get a sword blowout. On the draw, I think I'll cut a monkey. Bring out a couple of my delayed cantrips. Honestly, I don't know what else. If they bring in Grave Hate, it's possible I can hedge and take out one of my more graveyard-dependent threats. Although Murktide not getting Prismatic ending means that it may be just one of our better creatures. So maybe I take out this as the graveyard threat. I mean, bringing in explosives might be a little too scared. Everything else seems good. Maybe so Borrower is good if we're trying to get a blowout, but it's a pretty niche situation that is unlikely to come up while we've got Borrower in hand. Maybe I just play one explosives as a hedge, and then if I see a reason to have a second one, I'll bring a second one. That's reasonable, sure. Yeah, this is a keeper. They reveal Yorion again. They say land pass. I am worried about Baby Teferi. I do obviously have a handful of counter spells in the deck, and I don't have a way to counter Teferi at the moment. I guess I can just shoot a Teferi down with my burn. It didn't fetch. Perhaps Landlight? Steam Vents. I guess next turn I'll attempt an iteration. Please no Tef. It would be ambitious for them to slam it into 2 open mana post sideboard. But, I mean, if you've got it and you've got the read. Yeah, this looks like Tef. It's Wandering Mind. Did not expect that one. Is this some kind of Saheeli cat variation? There's the Teferi. I will Lightning Bolt to the Wandering Mind. And they're playing around Blood Moon, by the way. Channeler. Okay. Channeler's good. In fact, I probably just play that, play Iteration, although maybe I'm forced to Iteration first, because if I hit a land, I would have to play my land first if I go Channeler, then Iteration, and then the only way I 2-for-1 is if I hit Bobble, of which there are 3. So I think I have to Iteration first. I don't want to just slam a Murktide into a Teferi. That doesn't doesn't achieve much. Did hit the land, but I also hit another Murktide. Or sorry, another Channeler. I think I'm just gonna play that Channeler. All right, so one of them to hand. See, So yeah, Serum Visions to hand, Channeler to exile. Land. Steam Vents. 3 islands left. Channeler. Go. So they know they've got a window to resolve Teferi. If they slam Teferi and don't have Prismatic, odds are I'll be able to heat the Teferi dead. My read was that they're land light, so... Okay, yeah, that's true. Okay. Am I casting Iteration here? I don't think so. I think this turn looks like Channeler, plus Heat plus Murktide. Island. Channeler that they know about. Heat. Trigger. I could cast Serum Visions instead. Yeah. Second Teferi is really bad for me. Draw Scry 2. Counterspell Islet. Both of these are fine. So next turn, I can stack it Islet, Counterspell, draw Counterspell. Next turn, cast Expressive Iteration. Exile Fire Islet, play Islet. I'll have a hand with Spell Pierce, Counterspell backup. So I want to stack it Islet, then Counterspell. Put on top. Put on top. Go. So obviously this doesn't put a Murktide into play on a mostly empty board. So maybe I'm trying to go long game when I can play the short game. But they also have a good number of catch-up cards. That's going to happen. Like, Verdicts are a possibility. Solitudes are a possibility. More Teferis are a possibility. Yep. So I know that there is a Fiery Islet on top. If they choose to counter this, that's probably fine. I could still just cast the Spell Pierce. It's losing value quickly. Sure. I can still hold up Counterspell this way. They could have a Spell Pierce of their own, which could make things potentially problematic. Okay. So one of them is going to hand. I guess it's Charm. Hand. Bottom. Exile. Play Islet. Go. So yeah, I did not pedal to the metal last turn, but that was a decision. So if they've got another Teferi here, it's unfortunate. But again, the read was that they're land light. I think I'm just going to fire this off. If they want to counter back, it is what it is. A land here is fine. I guess now I get to Murktide here. Have Charm backup. How many spells do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Plenty. So if I just max out the first one, is that fine? That looks like this. That's fine. I guess I could save this bauble for the additional surveil. There's no one card I'm really digging for at this immediate moment in time, so it's probably fine. Like, I've already got the counterspell. Wandering Mind. Counter. I think I'm going to counter this because it finds another Teferi. They're still probably land light. The only way this bites me is if they've got exactly Dispute. Okay, they do have Solitude. I mean, I guess I'll accept my 2 for 1. Gain 8. Consider. Okay, let's play this. So I've got 1, 2, 3 spells right now. I guess consider now. Trigger. There's the Dispute. That's got to be good, right? Put on top. Draw. Bolt that. Okay. Now, is it any different? Probably not. I think I still want it. Put it into the graveyard? No. Messed this up last time. Alright, and then how many spells are there now? I guess now I don't have the stupid thing that cares about Delirium anyway. So let's max it. Like that. Now I'll cast Bauble. I guess I'll do this now as well. Restoration Angel, interesting. Trigger. So that they're still land light. I don't think they have a Teferi. But if they somehow do and I get to dispute it, that'll be awesome. Stoneforge. Yeah, not much I can say about that. So their hand is Restoration Angel. Whatever they get, Fire and Ice makes sense. And one other. Heat. Put it into the graveyard? No. Iteration. Okay. Let's start there. Iteration just feels like the most busted draw ever. One of them in the hand. I guess Charm. Charm to hand. This to the bottom, this to exile. I guess to play around Spell Pierce, I'll do this first. Consider. Serum Visions, put it into the graveyard. Sure. Channeler. I'll still just hold up Dispute. Is that correct? I mean, they're still able to do something silly like Verdict me. I guess playing Channeler would actually threaten lethal as early as next turn. Well, we know they have Restoration Angel. Ooh, all right, good for me. Cool. All right, and that should be the 4-1. The 4-1. If Magic Online wants to load. All right, cool. So we got the 4-1 after after an unfortunate series of events in the last league. So that's going to be it for this recording. Thanks for watching on the YouTube. If you like what you see, remember to like and subscribe. Those are two great free ways to support my content. And if you like what you see, it's still free. So just do it. Thanks, and hope you had a good one. See you next time.